Hey, we're going to switch gears. Recently, the leadership of this church decided to bring in a culture coach to help us sort of navigate those waters.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit why that decision was made and why it's important?
Yeah, so we want to be a church that looks like this community and looks like the kingdom of Christ. This began in, let's go back to the Great Commission. When Jesus said, go into all the world, right? Yeah. Making disciples of all nations, teaching them to obey all that I've commanded, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, all of that. That's incredibly, incredibly important. And Jesus used a term in Greek, panta ta ethne. And ethne sounds like ethnic. It's the origin of our word ethnic or ethnicity. And Jesus was essentially saying all kinds of people from all kinds of people groups, all kinds of racial backgrounds, all kinds of languages. And so this is incredibly important to Jesus. So I think it should be important to us. I think it has been important to us. It's one of the reasons that this church is so committed to missions. It's one of the things that attracted me to Autumn Ridge. And so what I'm talking about isn't new. We're just shining a spotlight on it. Now, what's fascinating to me as I read through the book of Acts is that the church was slow in the uptake to actually do this. It wasn't until Acts 8. Was it Acts 8? I'm trying to remember exactly what the chapter is. That's not exactly how my brain works sometimes. But it was when persecution broke out in the church that people began to scatter, and it says that they preached the message of the gospel wherever they went. But it comes after that, I want to say Acts 10, where Peter has to have this kind of vision from God, and it takes place 3 times for him to really start to get it, that God is communicating. There are no clean people and unclean people. I want you to take the message of the gospel to everyone, and then God has supernaturally orchestrated that men show up to take Peter back to the home of the Gentile commander, and Peter walks in and he has this kind of really loving and awkward moment at the same time and says, basically, I'm going to paraphrase here, I'm not even supposed to be around you people. Right. It's against the law for me to even be in your house, but God has shown me, that there are no clean and unclean people. They're just his people, and everybody gets to be recipients of the gospel. And then you fast forward into the book of Revelation, where John sees that there are people from every tribe, every tongue, every nation. And so Christ's command right before his ascension into heaven is that his people should be people from all ethnic groups. And we look forward to heaven. There's more people than we can count from every nation, tribe, tongue, all of that. And then you see Peter, and he's kind of in the messy middle of that, and we're in the messy middle of that too. And it is hard at times to create the kind of environment that really does accommodate and serve and communicate love and empathy well to folks who don't engage the world the way that we do, who don't see the world the way that we do. And so we brought in a coach who's good at that, and just said, give us some of your perspective on some things that we could do that would help us honor this command of Christ a little bit better.
Yeah. So I was there for that presentation. It was amazing. Can you talk a little bit of what kind of effect has that had on the leaders and the staff that were there that day?
It's had a profound effect. One of the things that people have started to do is just look around and go, how does what we do, how does that impact others? What are some things that we do that accidentally make it harder for someone to be around us? One of the things we've been looking at is, as a result of that conversation, is why do we put people with wheelchairs in the back of the room? That's hard. Yeah. What are we doing to accommodate people who are deaf, who only speak sign language? I don't know. Yeah. We haven't gotten there yet. Now, Autumn Ridge has had the Barnabas Room ministry, right? And so has been investing generously into kids who are coming with various challenges, and to serve those kids and to serve their parents. That's awesome. We're not saying our church is moving in the wrong direction. We're saying, hey, this is great. Let's add some fuel to the fire.
Double down on it.
Yeah, let's double down on it. Mm-hmm. And so it has implications for how we include people of various cultural backgrounds. A couple of weeks ago, a woman sang a song partly in Spanish, partly in English, and that's just a way to say all people are made in God's image. We want to celebrate that. We want to make it easier for all kinds of people from all kinds of background to move closer as we are trying to move closer to them to more quickly connect with the gospel. Obviously I'm jazzed up about it.
Yeah, yeah.
What is there anything that I missed? Is there any clarity that I should add? I know this video is going long.
It is, but I'd just say that I'd agree with you entirely. The staff and the leaders that were there, I've seen sort of a concerted effort to really examine in the smaller details of things we do, how we can bring in these. And it's not a wholesale change overnight. It's just a way of saying, let's open up our eyes and just recognize some of the opportunities.